Yo, yo, it's me, back once again with the shenanigans. Another weekly batch analysis. I had a pretty nice week, so I'm kind of excited. Well, nice in terms of results, but I hope I followed the rules well. I know I missed a few trades, which sucks a bit, but we'll see how I performed overall. And my main focus, as always, is going to be on not making mistakes. That's really the most important right now. But as always, let's start with last week. So last week, I participated in really good context and good momentum. That has been the case for, well, pretty much all the time, I would say. Trading in high time frame stage ones is something that I managed to eliminate by now, which is great. So what went bad? I did not take a valid trade. I believe this was a gold trade over here, and I had a issue with the E, but actually I just misread it. This was a beautiful, beautiful trade that I was supposed to take. Ended up being a winner, but that doesn't matter. Even if it was a loss, I was supposed to take this. And I took an ugly entry where MB2 was bigger than MB1. Yes, I already wrote down this rule, and by now I pretty much have it as a rule that MB2 cannot be bigger than MB1 ever. They can be very, very similar size, but they cannot be significantly bigger. If it's just a little bit, it's probably okay, but this is significant difference. I do not like this at all. And my results were minus zero point 0.5. Had I traded perfectly and captured that win and probably not taken one ugly entry, I would be up 4.8. That would be really nice, but shit happens. Anyway, going into next week, as always, once again, going over my instructions that I read every time. Don't make mistakes, man. That's the number one thing. Do not make mistakes. I actually did a little thingy here if I open this. For next week, every time I create a new worksheet, I will already have it here every day. My thought, it starts with do not make mistakes so that I really, really have it in front of me. It's so important. I cannot overstate this. So important not to make mistakes. That's why it's my main focus. As always, focusing on rules, not the R. It's all process, not result, right? Yep, this is all normal. These are all just strategy rules that I have instilled pretty well. And I mean, yeah, all of this has been the same, just recently added regarding risk-free stuff. That's just a tiny little refinement. But, well, crypto right now looks trash anyway, except for Zach. I mean, Zach is absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys saw what's going on with cryptos, but pretty much most stuff absolutely shit the bed. Like if you take a look at IP, for example, one thing that I followed in the past from the top, minus 91%. Like what the fuck? There was some kind of tariff shenanigans and some insider trading on Bitcoin where somebody shorted 30 minutes before the tariff drops. Absolute crime season. But yeah, like all these charts look horrible, horrible, horrible. But hey, Zach, Zach doesn't give a fuck. Zach is just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna dump a little bit, but hey, I'm gonna buy it back up. Don't care. So maybe I might actually get a weekend trade on Zach on the 5 minute. We'll see. Back to here. So I guess we can go into the analysis right away. I also drew a little something. I will get to that later. But for now, let's analyze the trades. I do have quite a few trades. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 trades. So quite a lot of stuff. But let's get into it. I'm excited. So starting off with this trade over here. Actually, my bad, my bad. I have to do it like this. So Monday, right? Coming in Monday, Chinese bank holiday. Who gives a shit? Euro 7 p.m. No alarms here because these red news are very, very late. And here's my watch list. Uh, so Bitcoin, good context, and I was looking for other crypto plays as well. NAS 100, of course, like very much trending. It might need some money to come in, especially because like here it dropped down, right? I would expect some kind of stage one here and some money to come in that I could follow. UK 100 has been delivering beautifully, and it was in great context. I was stalking it pretty much every day, I believe, but I don't think there were any actual setups. Silver, I thought silver might be a bit overextended here on this run, but I wasn't completely sure. I just kept track of it. Same with gold. Gold maybe a little bit overextended, but on like 10-second entries, I felt like it's still okay to follow. And here I had some crypto trades. Here I have MNT. I've been following MNT for a while. Good momentum cycle. And BNB. BNB has been very strong as well. We know that because, well, Anton traded it as well and made a monstrous trade on that. I've been following BNB. I missed some nice winners on it, unfortunately. I'm still very much getting used to trading these high time frame entries. I just kind of I lose focus, and I already like um brainstormed. I brainstormed a way how to do it. I'll probably just set alerts like 5 minutes before each 1 hour candle close. So I will check the markets. That's probably what I'll have to do, and that way I'll be able to capture these 1 hour entries. But yeah, I missed some stuff. I know that. So yeah, this is the stuff. Here are my pre-session or during session thoughts. So yeah, do not make mistakes, of course. Quite a few things in good high time frame contacts. Bitcoin looks good, NAS looks good, and MNT and BNB look good. So here we have some trades, and unfortunately, unfortunately, there's the results, but that's okay. I didn't quite see it. So here we are on gold. I'm still following gold. I think it's okay. It could be potentially overextended on the high time frame, but I thought, hey, it's still fine. So here we are, very strong trend, right? Moving higher generally. Here, some kind of big stage one, and it moves out of there. So here, what do we have? We probably have MMB1, MMB2, MMB3. By no means overextended. I think this would probably be the last part. This isn't probably even an MMB, to be honest. This is probably just part of the push. So if anything, I would say this is stage one, and this would be the expectation. So definitely not overextended. Here I am on the 5 minute beautiful stage two, which qualifies me to trade this reaccumulation. Nice flagging pullback, very consistent. And here I get the high time frame DMB. So over here, I'm very, very happy to trade this, right? Here I'm on the 1 minute, so I had my MB1, MB2 already, and here I have a big breakout, like huge, huge momentum, and a pullback to the rising 1020. Here, this is my entry time frame. Beautiful stage two, very, very strong. Here it breaks down a little bit, definitely some kind of reaccumulation, and here it has a little stage one, and it breaks out of there. So this is an MMB1 buy stop. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is good. I don't have an issue with it whatsoever. Uh, yeah, this is a good entry overall. I like everything about this. So let's label it up. So here, good context and very much good momentum. Okay. Here, yes, very much good momentum as well. Here, good momentum as well. And here, I would say this is a good entry. I wouldn't call it perfect necessarily, but it meets my rules. It's good enough. I'm gonna call it good entry. It's not necessarily perfect. I could see some things be a little bit better, but the EMAs are rising. Everything is looking good. The stage two is nice. The reaccumulation makes sense. Yep, I like it. I like it. So overall, I am going to call this trade good. And I did not take this actually. Okay. I think I probably didn't take it because of the entry itself. Like, well, actually, you know what? Let's just see what I write here. So, wasn't quite sure about this type of setup, but I think it's valid. Gonna include it in the data collection for later analysis. Alright, makes sense. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the entry that I didn't like too much. And I, I honestly think it's fine. Like, the main thing with these stage one MMB1 buy stop entries is that there is like already, if this wanted to be a redistribution, it would fuck off, or well, in this case, a distribution, it would fuck off lower here, right? It grabbed its liquidity, it's done its job, it can now go down. But if it breaks into a new high over here, that is proof enough for me that it wants to continue. That highs are continuously being liquidated, and we're moving higher. So I don't necessarily have a problem with this, but I also understand why I didn't take it. I wanted to be really strict with myself, and as always, when in doubt, stay out. So I'm not gonna call it a mistake that I didn't take this. By the way, my monitor just fucking died for some reason. I have no idea what's going on. It just blacked out, and it's continuously blacking out. Like, hello? Are you good? All right. Looks like I'm back. Wow, that was random. Okay. So I have these labels over here, so let's label it here as well. So context was most definitely amazing. Very good momentum. C1 over here was amazing as well. Wow, it's blacking out again. I'm gonna have to reconnect my HDMI real quick. It's been causing me problems for a while. I think I need a new HDMI cable. Like, the screen has been fucking up lately. Alright, well, I'm still trying to reconnect. It's saying HDMI, no signal. I have no fucking clue what's happening here. It just keeps connecting and reconnecting. I'm gonna try to plug it into a different monitor. Alright, I plugged it into HDMI 1. If this doesn't work, then I guess I'm fucked. And it's back. Awesome. It is actually back. Nice. Just have to redo the layout a little bit. Let me see. Where do I have Miro? It's all over here. Okay. Good. Seems to be working now. OBS is here. Google is here. All right. Sorry for that. Hopefully no more complications. So back to the analysis here. So I was here. Yep. This context, definitely good momentum. Validation itself, very much good momentum. Liking it a lot. And the entry, well, I'm gonna call it good, but mm, it's it's a little bit weird. Just a little bit weird, but it's good. So decision overall, I'm gonna say it's good that I didn't take it, but I could have taken it. So this is like a super, super gray area one. So I'm not gonna call it a mistake though. It's okay. Anyway, this is how I would have managed. Over here, this is more than enough strength for me to break even, and it comes back for a spread loss. So this would be a minus 0.2. Okay, good, good. So that's the first trade. Let's go to the next trade. So it's gold once again. I guess we can stay on the 1 minute here because this is all on Monday. And what can we see here? So originally the first trade, where was it? I think the first trade was over here, and this is the second trade. Okay, so we have a stage one, right? We have a breakout out of there, and every time there is a stage one, my expectation always is that if we break out, we're going to have this momentum cycle, right? I usually, lately, I have refined the rules or defined it in a way where I simply want to trade an Elliott wave out of the stage one. So my expectation is always this. So I'm very happy to trade MMB1 and MMB2. generally, and this is definitely MMB2. So here we have the momentum cycle, right? Very strong, above the rising EMAs, inefficiency left behind, all of that stuff, and it pulls back into the rising 1020. Exactly what I like to see. And what do we have here? Well, we have the first one, right? Then it comes back, reaccumulates a little bit, continues higher with big, big strength. This is super important for me because this indicates continuation, pulls back, and here it creates an MB1. Actually, let me draw it in the way I'm used to. So we have this MB1, white. There we go. And we have MB2. Excuse me. All right. And we have MB2. So here, I would say the MB2 is maybe like tiny little bit bigger, but I would just say this is equal size. This is completely fine. So this, I believe, is a beautiful entry. On top of that, this is an entry that I'm quite used to also because whenever it breaks higher like this, what I have noticed is when it comes back deep and there is a valid demand zone, which there is over here, if it bounces from here, that's one of the traits that I really, really enjoy taking. And that's this one. So I'm happy with this. I think this is perfect. So all of this is the same. So I can just put it in here. And this time we have an entry that is actually perfect. I like this entry a lot. Perfect entry. So yeah, let's see what I actually write here. So I do take this trade and it's a break even. So I reduce risk over here. Yep, that's more than enough strength away from my entry. I reduce risk twice, right? So here is to the analysis entry. There's a little bit of spread still. And here it breaks higher above this high, so I move to completely break even. This goes to, what does it go to? 2.34 and comes back to break even. So I think this was perfect. Very nice. So what is this? Yep, I took this. All good. So here, good. And this trade, I think, was perfect. Okay, let's label it up. Good, good, good. And entry was perfect. Management was perfect as well. So overall, I'm going to give this trade a perfect. And it was a good decision to take it. Nice. Just going to go back here real quick and didn't take. It looked weird. Okay. And overall, it was good. All right. Very nice. So, moving on, another trade. What is this? Okay, so this is NAS 100. Cool. So NAS, overall, I know that on the high time frame, as I mentioned in the context part, it's very bullish. So I can just look for bullish structure on the 60-minute. What do we have over here? We have a strong stage 2, which makes me valid to trade this entire reaccumulation. We have some lows being liquidated, right? And here, my expectation would be some kind of stage 1. Ideally, what I would actually want to see is that, okay, so, so this is a low, this is a low. The highest point between these two is this one, right? Or arguably, well, this one, I don't know, it's this one. So I just want to see a strong momentum move above this, ideally from a stage 1, which happens over here. So as long as this push is not overextended, I'm happy to trade it because my expectation is that if it breaks above here, well, yes, it can of course redistribute and fuck lower, or in this case, distribute and go lower. But this is where I'm willing to take risk because my expectation is that it's actually going to continue. So, yep, this makes total sense. Reaccumulation, stage 1, breakout out of stage 1. So here I am on the 5 minutes, right? This stage 2, I would say is very nice. Decently strong, big candles in my direction, shallow pullbacks, big candles, inefficiency left behind, very nice. And here, it breaks into a new high and it pulls back into the demand zone. And here, if I looked at the 5 minutes, right, I would be valid to trade this one. So this could be a 5 minute entry for me, but I'm not entering gold, NAS on a 5 minute. I could have, but I wasn't. So this is a 10 second, I believe, maybe a 1 minute. I'm not sure. Anyway, the moment it moves above here, that is the high time frame DMB tapped in. This is the same type of setup as I had over here, right? This is the high time frame DMB, and now I'm trading this move above. This is exactly the same on NAS. So, yep, I have this and I'm moving above. So here on the 1 minute, what can I see? Here it bounces from the demand zone, right? And as it moves higher, confirms the DMB and pulls back into the rising 1020. I'm very happy to trade here. And what do I get? So I get this big stage 2, pulls back, beautiful shallow pullback, relatively definitely a reaccumulation. And here once again, big stage 2. Here it pulls back, loses the EMAs, and from there it creates a beautiful DMB. So if I draw it, this would be MB1, okay, and I can just copy paste it because MB2 is pretty much the same size, and I would say this was perfect. This was really nice. So, yep, that's how I'm gonna say it. So this was a, what is this? I would say this was a stage 1 breakout. All right. And of course on good momentum. Okay, so this is just good momentum. This is good momentum. And this is a perfect entry. Okay, so let's see what I have to say about this trade. So I didn't take this because I wasn't looking at this time frame. What? Wait, what? I don't even have the asset tagged here. What is going on here? Oh, it's a crypto trade. Crypto. Okay. Um, what's going on here? Oh, it's that's the next one. Wait. What did I do here? Oh, okay. Let me see. So this NAS trade, when did this enter? That was at like 1345-ish. That's the NAS trade, 1345. And there was another trade here on MNT. That's the next one. And this trade I took at 12 something. So actually, what I need to do is I need to switch these around. Ugh. All right. How do I do this? So I need to take this. Yeah, that's a bit silly, but yep, that's what I need to do. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna put this here. Yo, I have to take all of this, put that here for a moment, get all of this, put that here. Need to zoom out a little bit more. All right, good enough. Now I need to take this and put it back. There should be a perfect place here. Yep, there is. Okay, now I can take this back and this back so I don't see the results. Okay, so here I am analyzing this trade actually. So that's this trade. Okay, cool. So what do I do here? So this is where I reduce risk. Yep, I mean it hasn't shown a lot of strength above my entry. Like these candles are a little bit choppy, but it has created a high that is far enough. So the moment it breaks that high, I was like, okay, I want nothing to do with it if it comes back. Makes sense. So I reduce risk for a first time, and here I reduce risk for a second time. And I think this is actually one of those examples where uh, my rule of reducing risk twice keeps me in the trade. So that's great because this actually runs to +5 and I get to capture that. So beautiful win. Nice. So what do I say here? Well, this is a stage 1 breakout. There's good momentum everywhere. Good momentum. Entry was perfect and management was perfect as well. So overall this trade was perfect and the decision was good. Very nice. So that was 3 trades here already, and now I have and now I have to analyze this crypto trade. Okay, and that's this one. Cool. So MNT. It was on my contacts. I've been following this for a while, like on the daily, right? Some big stage 1. Um, maybe like it was tradable over here, but I wasn't trading back then, and who knows how this actually related to Bitcoin, because it very much depends for me if I trade altcoin. I only trade altcoins when Bitcoin is doing well or when Bitcoin is reaccumulating. So I have no idea what was happening here. But the moment it broke out, this is what I was following. I had quite a few trades on MNT, I believe. So here on the daily, right, we have a beautiful, beautiful trend. Absolutely perfect. And here we have some kind of stage one, right, and a breakout out of it. So on the 60, what can I see? This is stage one, and here we have MMB1, and this is MMB2. And without having to go to a lower time frame to trade the actual DMB, I know that the DMB simply looks exactly like this, right? So it's almost like, remember back in the day when Anton was teaching the three box as in you have something, you have a break higher, you have a demand, right? And we were trading this. Yeah, this is very, very similar, except that the demand is not as important. Like, yeah, it's I still pay attention to it, but it's not that important. But actually, within that three box, if there is an ICI, which is still above the rising EMAs, that's exactly the type of trades that I'm looking for. And I also know that, like, on a, what would this be? Divided by, on a 10-minute, this would be a beautiful, beautiful DMB, right? So yeah, this was a beautiful trade. Absolutely love it. So this is a stage one breakout. All right. And of course, it's on good momentum. Good, good. This is very much good momentum. Nothing much more to say here. And this is good momentum as well. Well, actually, I'm just going to say this is a perfect entry. And I don't know why I derped like this over here. Okay, cool. So I like this very much. I think this is great. What do I write here? I didn't take this, and I didn't take it because I wasn't looking at this time frame. Yep, I remember I was looking at the 5 minute on MNT, but I did not get an entry. If I paid attention to the 60, which is something that I need to get better at, I would have taken it anyway. I was following the 5 minutes for a potential entry and forgot to follow the higher time frame for an entry. 1 hour entries are totally valid on crypto, and I have to learn to follow them. Yep, that's just how it is. And this one, wow, this taps me in and just huge, huge candle in my direction. I remember seeing this and I was like, ah, man, I missed such a beautiful trade. Anyway, I would be risk free here, of course. And in the next hour, it goes to +5. So, yeah, that's a missed trade, unfortunately. And it is a mistake. It is a mistake. I should not have missed this trade. So, uh, should have taken for sure. So, overall, it's a mistake that I didn't take it. And it was a winner. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, this is just C1. So C1 is a stage one breakout. This is good momentum. This is perfect entry. Uh, right. This is perfect. Okay. And management would have been perfect too. Okay, and that concludes Monday, I think. Yep. So reflection on Monday. I totally missed a beautiful MNT trade on the 60. I need to learn to pay attention to these high time frame entries. Yep. And also, this goes hand in hand with stock entries. I've started following some stocks as well. Tuned my screener for it, and yeah, I'm slowly gonna start to include stocks. So stocks are gonna be 60-minute entries as well. So I can very much just treat it the same way. I'm gonna have my low time frame entries on on assets that allow it, of course, like I don't know, NAS, gold, and some other ones, some forex, and I'm also going to have the high time frame entries, which are going to be 60 minutes. So just need to really get better at this. All right, so that's Monday. Let's move on to Tuesday, I guess. Boom. So Tuesday, Chinese bank holiday. Who gives a shit? Watch list. So NAS, I can see over here. Yep, as always, this is like just trending higher on the daily. Looks very good. UK 100, just like on Monday, this is looking amazing. This is a big, big stage one breakout in MMB1 or MMB2 right now. Like, depends if I see this whole thing as an MMB or not. I think I do. And some crypto. Yep, MNT once again pulling back into the rising 1020. Beautiful. Maybe some entry there, and BNB as well. What do we have on BNB? Big breakout MMB1. This is in MMB2, looking very, very nice. So thoughts, some stuff on my watch list, but mostly need serious strength to come in before I'd follow. Expecting a no trade session today, but I end up actually having two trades. So let's check them out. Before I do, let's do this. So I didn't take this, but it was actually perfect, and I should have taken it. And yep, that was the winner. So let's see what I actually had trades on. So I have a trade on NAS 100 here. Nope, sorry, I'm a bit silly here. That's actually here. So this is Tuesday. I have a trade on BNB. So let's check this out. What do I have here? So this is some kind of stage one over here, I would say. This whole thing. Uh, Sorry, just one last thing. This NAS 100 trade was perfect. All right, now I'm ready. So yeah, this was some kind of stage one over here, and we broke out MMB1, MMB2. I wouldn't say this is overextended. This could easily pop further. Here we are in the 60, stage one, right? MMB1, MMB2 pulled back into the rising 1020. So I'm more than happy to take a trade on this. And what do we have here? So this is the stage one breakout, and we have a very strong stage two. Beautiful, beautiful. Comes back, reaccumulates nicely. Here, I maybe could have taken this already, but I guess I was not yet trading. Uh, what is this? Well, it's already past 9, so maybe I could have taken it, but I guess I did not see it. I don't even have it in my data collection, but I believe this was a good trade. Either way, that would be a break even, and it comes back. And here, what does it do? Well, I have my lowest point of the sell-off marked up here, and here multiple things can happen, right? It can pull back and create a DMB over here. It can create it by touching the demand zone, or it can simply do what it did here. It can do an absorption, but if it does that, if it does the deeper one, the reaction has to be wild, right? I need a wild reaction here in order to take the trade. And this one is most certainly wild, so I would label this as a spring, and this would be a perfect entry. It even goes above this high, which is very nice. Floating supply over here, so yeah, this was a very, very nice entry. Lovely entry. So here we have good context, definitely. All right, good context. This is, whoops, this is good momentum. This is good momentum also, of course. And this is a perfect entry. By the way, perfect entry. This is the last viable entry that I have. I also created a little bit of a like a sequential guide of how to trade. How do I want to trade reaccumulations with everything, like all the valid setups, and well, everything that's not valid is invalid, right? But yeah, I drew it out for myself exactly how I want to follow momentum, and I also have an invalidation point. I'll probably get into that, but first, I need to go to the toilet. Okay, I'm back. Well, anyway, so I believe I did not take this entry if I remember correctly, and I was a little bit in doubt. I don't exactly know why, but I think that was the impulse for me to create that sequential guide because I was like, man, I missed something I wasn't supposed to miss. Let's make sure that next time I don't hesitate. And yeah, because of that, I created the guide. But let's say what I let's see what I actually have to say here. So, okay. Oh, I was too slow to set up the order. I see, I see. Okay, no time to set up order. That's unfortunate. I remember I even had a limit order and I was hoping maybe it's gonna tap me in, but it didn't. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I would be risk free after this big candle, of course. Here I'm on the 3 minute. I just found the time frame that looks the nicest. 3 minute looked very, very nice. And yeah, this goes to +5 very, very quickly. So yeah, no time to set up order. I think, especially given the fact this didn't happen like directly at 9 a.m. or something, I should have followed this a little bit better, and then I would have most definitely have time to set up this order because hey, I had 3 minutes to write in a few numbers. I can do that in 10 seconds usually, so there is no excuse. I just didn't follow this well. Yeah, I have should had I don't know. I should have taken this 100%. Not having enough time to set up the order is a pathetic excuse. Yeah, honestly, that's what it is. So, this is C. Let's just mark it up here. Definitely good momentum, perfect entry, perfect management, and didn't take, should have most definitely taken, so it was a mistake that I didn't take it. Ah, man, that's already two mistakes, isn't it? Mm, mm. Oh, that sucks a bit. What can you do? We live, we learn. All right, and then there is another trade lower. So first of all, didn't take, but it was a perfect trade, most definitely. Perfect. Okay. And yep, that was a winner. All right. Well, what can you do? And here we have NAS 100. So what happens over here? So we break into a new range over here, most definitely, and then it pulls back, creates a stage one over here. The expectation, of course, is bullish. So as it breaks out with big momentum, I am happy to trade it. So here's the 5 minutes, right? This looks like a very nice accumulation schematic. And here we are breaking out into the markup, pulling back into the rising 1020. Beautiful. Here, I think this is a 1 minute entry. Huge, enormous, really, really nice stage two, making me valid to trade this. Here we have the reaccumulation, right? Lows being liquidated, and from here we have a beautiful, absolutely beautiful DMB. I love this DMB. So I would say this is MB1, and this is MB2. MB2 a little bit smaller than MB1, which is totally fine. That's exactly what I want to see. So this is a 1 minute entry. And let's see what I have to say about this. So, oh shit, I missed it. I totally missed this, although I have US 100 on my laptop screen. I have it on the 1 hour though, so I guess I didn't see it move above the stage one. Oh yes, I do remember. So this is another mistake, bro. No, this is another mistake. All right, whatever. So here I would have reduced risk. Yeah, make total sense. And as it creates fractal structure and breaks above, it would be risk-free, and it ends up being a break-even. Well, I most definitely should have taken this one, and that makes this a mistake. That sucks. That sucks. I do remember that. Yep, I had it on the 1 hour, which we can see over here, and the trade formed, I believe, in this candle, and it just, I don't know what I was doing, man. I thought, yeah, I don't know, honestly. I should not have, yeah, I should not have the 60 minute on my laptop screen. My laptop screen should be either on the validation or the entry itself, not on the context. And This is C2, right? This is second context. So yeah, that's just stupid. But yeah, anyway. Stage 1 breakout here. Okay. Um, Stage 1 breakout here. And of course, all of this is on good momentum. And this is a perfect entry, most definitely. Perfect entry. And I should have taken it. So yeah. Boop. Stage 1 breakout. Stage 1 breakout. Good momentum. Perfect entry. Perfect management. So the trade overall was perfect. All right. Well, what can you do? This was perfect. All right, so reflection, missed a valid BNB trade because I didn't have enough time to set it up. To be honest, I noticed it too late. Should not happen. Yep, definitely. Made a new guide on how to follow momentum on the E time frame in my Miro. Okay, yep. So enough is enough, and I was like, okay, I cannot have these things happening to me. I need to perform better, right? And in order to perform better, simplification is the most important thing, and clarity is extremely, extremely important. So I thought, hey, I'm just going to create, and I've been wanting to create this for a while. I'm just going to create a step-by-step sequential guide on how I want to trade reaccumulations. So I guess we can go into that right now. Before we do, I'm just going to set it up here in this way so I know where to continue. Okay, this was perfect. Nice. And let's go into the guide itself real quick. So this is where I drew it. All right, let's go. So how to follow momentum on the E. So number one, as always, I want to see a strong stage two, right? This is the number one qualifier for me to even trade the follow-up reaccumulation. I want to see big candles in my direction, small candles against my direction, ideally shallow pullbacks. I want to see ideally a lot of inefficiency left behind, and it all needs to be above the rising 1020 EMA. And when I say rising, I mean aggressively sloping. Okay, I don't mean just like rising a tiny little bit. I mean an actual aggressive slope. So it should look like this. So I have some kind of stage one, and then it just goes, 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 right? And then I can trade the reaccumulation. Anyway, that's the first step. Second step is the reaccumulation itself. So what is a reaccumulation? By definition, reaccumulation is liquidating lows. So I need to see some kind of low get liquidated, right? I think Anton called this the anticipation of the higher low or whatnot. That's what this is. I already know what good reaccumulations look like, and yeah, this is what I want to see. And usually I want to see it shallow, and I need to identify the lowest point of the sell-off. Now this is something that you can only identify after reignition, which is the next step. So what I want to see is consistency. So I want to see a consistent wavy move up, and I want to see a consistent wavy pull back. Okay, so I don't want to see any like huge sell-offs or stuff like that. I want to see beautiful clean price action. So once it goes deep enough, there's going to be the lowest point of the sell-off, and this is an extremely important level for me because we can identify it after the reignition. So what is reignition? It's a strong move within the reaccumulation, right? It's after the lows are getting liquidated, somebody presses the buy button yet again. The EMA start rising again. There's big candles in that direction, and then after it has a shallow pullback, I can buy stop the high, right? That's the classic DMB. I just want to see a very momentous, strong DMB. Once I have that reignition here, that is what allows me to circle this, the lowest point of sell-off. And this comes in hand a lot because I can have follow-up trades in that reaccumulation, but the rules are based around this level. Because here I can take the first trade and it's cool, right? So yeah, here, valid setups, right? The first setup is this one, right? It's the initial stage two, the reaccumulation, and then there's the reignition, and I just buy stop that as a DMB. That's the first possible setup that I can take, and it's completely valid. And I like that, right? So the first setup is the immediate continuation. There can be a second setup. When the first setup fails, either it doesn't provide an entry or it provides an entry and it ends up being a loss or a break even. There can be a second setup. The second setup is a pullback into a new DMB, right? So here we already, fuck, what did I just do? All right. Here we already have that initial move, and here as it pulls back, we can have a DMB within it. So it must be strong. So it's not, what it's not is this, right? So we have some kind of pullback and then we have some tiny, like, stupid move up, like, what the fuck is this? And then it creates a DMB here. That's not what I want to trade. Not at all. I want to trade this. Okay. It has to be strong. So, and there are three versions of this. I've been talking about this several times already in the analysis, but there are three versions of this specific setup. Either the DMB happens above the demand zone, which is here, right? So there's a valid demand zone left behind this one, and the DMB itself happens above. The second setup is that it touches the demand zone right here, and from there it creates the DMB. And the third one is that it absorbs the zone, and that's what I call the last valid setup. And that's what happened on BNB, for example. And that's that we have the demand zone and it comes down, it liquidates the lowest point of the sell off, but the reaction here is what's important. The last valid setup is when it does this spring and it has a crazy strong reaction. Then I can buy stop the DMB. If this fails, if this, like, I need to see basically the shallow pullback and the buy stop. If this goes into a deep pullback and returns back, I'm done with the range. I no longer want anything to do with the entire range, and I simply wait for a breakout higher, and then I can follow it somewhere over here, right? This is my last possible setup. So, and I only allow a single demand touch. All of these rules are made so that I follow fresh, strong momentum. That's all this is based on, okay? And the last setup is because all of this can happen, and basically the reason why I have this is I want to be able to determine in a way that something has become stage one. So the moment the last valid setup fails, I'm like, okay, this is a stage one. And my rule there is that the third potential setup is that if all of this happens somewhere inside of here and it forms a stage one, I can I can trade the breakout out of that stage one, right? So the third setup is stage one into MMB one buy stop. And the emphasis is on a clean accumulation schematic over here. Needs to be a nice stage one. It can be a deeper pullback overall as long as the institutional structure holds. And then I can trade it. So this is the entire guide for it. And going forward, this is how all of my entries are going to look like. I might even create like a Notion thingy where I'm going to be like entry type. And I'm going to have type 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Or maybe I'm going to name them somehow. And I'm going to like keep track of them. But in general, this is how I like to follow momentum. And I also, just for clarity's sake, I wrote a little bit about MMB count. And basically, I always assume the Elliott impulse wave out of stage one. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is MMB1, this is MMB2. And after that, I no longer want to trade and I want to wait for a new impulsive wave. So there are two variations here. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to handle them just yet because there is a chance that the MMB1 just happens outside of the stage one, but there's a chance that MMB1 happens inside the stage one, and that one is not valid for me. So I can only trade MMB2, and that's over here, and then I'm no longer valid to trade here. But again, this is something that I still need to refine. But yeah, in general, this is my entries. Like going forward, all of my entries have to be one of these. No way around it. Okay, so if all of these setups fail, the range is considered stage one. Yeah, I already talked about that. So let's go back here and Now I have a beautiful guide. I'm going to read it every week for myself, just getting used to these setups. And I think this is going to help me once again to make things more streamlined and simplified, and it's going to provide me with clarity because what's important is knowing exactly what I want to see, where I want to see it, and when I want to see it. Everything else is just waiting and patience. Okay, with that out of the way, let's continue here, and we have an MNT trade. So let's go to, I guess this is Wednesday. So there are some news. Bank holiday in China. What? Man, do they have like a whole week of holidays or some shit? Anyway, no alarms because this is completely irrelevant. My watch list is relatively small here. UK 100. Oh, actually, I also have silver gold here. Okay, okay. So UK 100 looking really nice here, of course. Gold, silver, we saw already. Uh, yeah, potentially overextended. This is so strong. Like, yeah, wow. This is a very, very strong move. Uh, yep, and crypto, MNT and BNB once again. So how do they look like? This is looking amazing. This is ripe and ready for continuation. And this one, yep, this is MMB2. This is looking pretty ready as well. Not much on the watch list, expecting a no trade day. Some cryptos look good with BTC being in a reaccumulation. Happy to play relative strength on BNB and MNT. Yep, makes sense. So starting off, I have a lesson here. So let me take a look. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was watching the Webby, I think, and this is Anton's rule of when he steps down from the C to the V to check if there is a trade. So this is his C rule, right? And basically, on this candle, the moment this candle is closed, this is a breakout out of a stage one after a reaccumulation. Yep, he just uses this line over here. I would mark it up a little bit differently personally. Like what I would do is, I mean, I would look at exactly the same stuff, right? But here, um, this would be the stage one breakout. This is the strong stage two, which would make me valid to trade the reaccumulation. Here we have some lows liquidated, looks beautiful. Here we have a stage one created, and as it breaks out of the stage one, I'm happy to follow it. So, yep, I would capture exactly the same moment. So, anything else I write here? And yeah, this is. Oh yeah, yeah. Here he talked a little bit about BNB and what made him interested. He talked about relative strength, how everything was jumping, and BNB was actually quite resilient. So that made him interested, and how he doesn't see this as a reset necessarily, but as a part of this entire push, and he's willing to call this entire thing an MMB. I think this comes down to preference. I would probably say this is a reset because this is most definitely a reaccumulation. Yes, it's happening above the rising 1020 and whatnot, and it loses here a little bit. And he talks about the fact that he's not looking at just the EMAs, which I understand. We should not like be completely dogmatic about every single one element of the system. So we cannot just say, okay, it closed below the 20 EMA, now it's invalid. No, it isn't. Okay, but to me, this would be a reset because, yeah, it's a reaccumulation. But I'm very happy to trade here as well. And yeah, I think that's all. Uh, yeah, perfect C time frame. Okay, so that was just a little lesson that I took note of, especially this one. Where is it that Anton sees it as valid to step down to the V from a C? So it's the true sign of momentum within a reaccumulation. Makes sense. So here I end up having three trades. Wowee. Okay. So MNT. We already know, right? MNT, big stage one. Here it breaks out. I would argue this is still part of a stage one, but maybe it isn't. Maybe this is MMB1. Either way, if it was, this is MMB2, and we are more than valid to trade this. Plus, this is the C time frame, so by no means overextended. This looks good. So here I am on the 60 minutes, right? Strong stage two, very strong. I love it. Breaks down for reaccumulation and creates a stage one. So here I would have been very happy to go down to a lower time frame and start trading it. But anyway, this is the lowest point of the sell-off, right? And here I'm waiting for that reignition. This wasn't quite it. This was still quite weak, and because it went here, like the moment this dumped down and these 2 points were created, I was like, "Yep, stage one," and I was waiting for a breakout. Breakout happened over here, and that is the true sign of momentum, right? This is the sign of strength that I want to see, the reignition. And here it fails, so my rule comes in with the demand zone and everything. So as long as this bounces um, above the demand zone, I'm more than happy to trade it. And here it comes back to the demand zone and comes out with strong, strong momentum. Let's take a look how that looks on the 5 minute. So here, strong stage two, right? It comes back, liquidates something, and prints an absolutely beautiful, beautiful DMB. So this is MB1, and this is MB2. And yep, I honestly think this was beautiful. This is like once again, this is the last moment where I'm willing to trade. Last moment where I'm willing to take a trade. So if this one fails, basically at that point, I would wait for a new breakout above this part. Like if this one fails, I'm done with the entire range and I'm waiting for the breakout here. So let's see what I have to say about this trade. All right, so after this, I was risk-free, and that came back to a break even. Okay, very nice. That's cool. So overall, I really love this trade. I think it's great. So good context on good momentum. Okay, this is a stage one breakout. On good momentum. And this is a perfect entry. And this would be the first potential entry, right? Strong stage two, reaccumulation, reignition, buy stop. That's the most immediate, like the easiest possible entry. So just to reiterate what I talked about, if this failed, for example, and it would come back here to this demand zone, it could do this, it could do this, it could do this. And that would be the last valid entry. After that, I would wait for a breakout above this. So yeah, that was nice. Boop. Let's call it perfect. Okay, let's label it up. No, 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 no. Just good momentum, right? Yes. Validation is a stage one breakout on good momentum. Entry is perfect. Management is perfect. So the decision was good. Nice, nice. Moving on, we have another trade on, what is this? This is BNB. All right, so the two cryptos that I was watching, I got an entry on both. And what do we have? So here on the 60-minute, it's the same setup, actually, I believe. So here we have a break into a new high, right? Strong stage two, and then it goes back. And here it creates a stage one, breaks out higher, and fails. And as it fails, it comes back. So this is already, so this is reignition, right? So this marks the lowest point of the sell-off and the demand zone. Comes back into the demand zone, and from there, big momentum comes in. I am willing to trade this momentum. Once again, this is going to be one of the trades where it's the last possible setup. So here, what do we have? We have the strong stage two, beautiful stage two. Here it breaks down for a reaccumulation, okay, and creates a DMB. DMB is right over here. MB1 and MB2. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love this entry. So good. So, yep, here's the reignition, right? AKA MB1 validation. That MB1 validation creates the MMB1 itself. So by no means would I call this MMB1 because this is not the ignition. And here the MB2 is very nice, proportional, above EMAs. Everything is looking perfect. So good momentum here and good context. Oh man. All right. Here, what is this? Well, I would probably like call this last viable setup a stage one breakout as well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Uh, well, technically it's still a reaccumulation, so I'm just gonna call it good momentum. And same over here. This is technically a reaccumulation. So let me actually go back here and remove this. It's just good momentum. Okay. So that's that, and this is a perfect entry. Hello? Can I get this? Yep, whatever. Perfect entry. So there we go. Good momentum. Good momentum. Perfect entry. Management-wise, okay, so it starts chopping around a little bit here, and already I'm not liking this a lot. So the moment it breaks into a new high, I'm like, okay, my expectation here is it had its time to chop around. If it wants to move higher, it should do it explosively right here, and I don't want to have any risk on it. And sure enough, it goes down and it actually prevents a -1. So very, very good management here. Perfect. And that overall means this was a perfect trade and it was a good decision. Very nice. So, oh, I didn't tag this one, huh? So let me tag that. Perfect. Okay. And last trade on the day was an MNT trade once again. So what happened since last time? MNT, okay, so this one failed, but it actually continued. So let me see it on the 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, okay, so that was 5 minutes was this entry over here. That goes higher very nicely, breaks down, creates a stage one, and from there, ignition, and it does this. Uh, yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't like this too much. Like, I understand what I'm doing here, but this pullback, I don't know. I don't know. This pullback looks a little sus. Not quite sure what to think about this. Hmm. I would probably like to see at least another candle or something. I don't know. This is weird. Like here, very much good context. You know what? I'm too lazy for this shit. Uh, Copy paste. All right. This is definitely good context and good momentum. And this, well, this is a very much valid reaccumulation. It makes sense to continue trading this. So nothing necessarily wrong with this. It's rising. Okay, that's cool. I guess I can call this good momentum. What is it that I don't like about this? It didn't liquidate the floating supply. That's cool. So I have a target through the floating supply. That makes sense. Here it pulls back. Yep. It has the initial ignition. Ah, I see. This is most definitely the ignition, the reignition. So this would have been a valid trade, but that fails, comes back into the demand zone. So my trade should have been here. That should have been my trade, not this. Yeah, this should have been the trade. So this is a mistake. This is weird. What do I write here? Position didn't get filled, but I'd be risk free here. Okay. So I actually wanted to trade this. Probably set up a limit. Hmm. Okay. Uh. Hmm. This is a bit weird, man. Like, I understand what I'm doing, but I don't like this entry too much. Well, I didn't take it anyway, but I didn't take it because I didn't get filled, so I definitely intended to take it. So, I don't know, man. Maybe I should not have. Maybe I shouldn't have. Hmm. Anyway, I'm wondering if I traded this, if that would have made a difference. Let me just check MNT real quick here. Do I have MNT here? There it is. Okay, so I think where was this trade? I think it was this one. All right, so let me go back. Let me see. So what the fuck is this? Ah, it's here. Okay, it's here. So either way, this would come back to break even. Yeah, this would come back to break even. But it actually, like, after that, it just went so fucking hard. Yeah, I remember. So that's a bit unfortunate. Like, I was on the money with following MNT, but unfortunately, it kept chopping before it really, really went hard. Like, this would have been like two times. I tried to get involved here, and look at the huge move it made. Insane. Right. So I guess I should have taken this one. Should have taken this one. Yeah. Hmm. Gonna write it down. This was the entry. Okay. So, hmm, not my setup. Okay. What a weird one, man. Very, very weird. Not quite sure what to think of it. So, anyway, I would be risk-free after this. Makes sense. And that would be a break even. Okay. So, I did not take, and it's good that I didn't take, but I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm just gonna tag it like this. So overall, the context was very good. Uh, yeah, very, very good momentum. Validation was, mm, validation was good as well. Stage one. Yeah, validation was okay as well. And entry was questionable because it is not my setup. Yep, that was a little bit weird. So overall, probably technically a mistake. Okay, so didn't take because it was a mistake. Cool. So that was it for Wednesday. Yeah, and MNT ended up going hard, but liquidating me before the move. Oh well. Yeah, that happens. What can you do? So let's go to Thursday. Let me just close these. All right. So Thursday, absolutely no news, no alarm. Lots of stuff on the watch list already started, including the stocks as well, but didn't include them over here. But yeah, oh yeah, JER 30. JER 30 was finally, after months breaking out of here. Like, I deemed this all a big stage one, and as it was breaking out here, if it provides nice setups on the low time frame, I was willing to trade them. NAS 100 still doing its thing, still chugging higher. UK 100 still kind of going higher, but very choppy and weak on the lower time frames. This is some kind of crypto. What's this? I keep like mental. Been following before, but that didn't do anything. BNB continued to follow, and I also followed Zach a little bit. Yep. Okay. So more stuff needs some strength on the 6 minute, and JER 30 started running. I'm stalking. Okay. So it looks like I have three trades on Thursday. So let's get into them. And yep, I have a trade on Zach here. So Do I have? No, it's daily. Okay. So a huge, huge move, pulls back into the rising 1020 and starts moving higher, right? Looks really, really good. So this is the big move. Here it reaccumulates. All of this is some kind of stage one, right? This is the high. It definitely came back, came higher here. Big, strong stage two, pulls back into the rising 1020. Let's check out the entry itself. So what do we have here? Boom. Okay, so here it starts going sideways, 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 and let me see, some lows liquidated. Yep, okay, so this is the lowest point of the sell-off. Technically, I think I could have taken this trade, but that probably happened sometime, yeah, around midnight. So of course I did not take that. And then it breaks lower again, still above the EMA. So I'm happy to trade it, but only after a stage one breakout. And here, all of this chop I see as a stage one. Here it breaks out, pulls back into the rising 1020, and here I buy stop the ICI inside of that. So yep, I think this was a perfectly valid trade. So here we have good context. Lots of crypto trades, man. Good momentum. Okay, here we have good momentum. Okay, probably gonna mark this up a little bit. Oops. Yep, good, good. And here we have a stage one. And yep, this is a stage one breakout uh, on good momentum. So this is almost like a 1 minute entry, right, inside of that pullback, but definitely a valid setup of mine. So perfect entry. Yep, I like this a lot. So let's see what I have to say about this. Okay, so it goes higher and then it loses. It's kind of chopping, and here it loses its momentum cycle a bit, like the EMAs start falling. So I set TP to 0, and yep, that comes back, taps me out for oh shit, I downloaded, and that taps me out for a break even, and saved myself a -1. Beautiful. So this is very good momentum. This is a stage one breakout on good momentum, and the entry was perfect, and management was perfect as well, and it was a VE from below. Nice. So overall, that was very, very good. Okay. Did I tag it as perfect? Nope, I didn't. There we go. So put a perfect over here. Yo, what? This trade. What was this trade? I think this trade was perfect. Yep. Okay, this was perfect as well. Okay, two more trades to go. Cool. JER30. Nice. So I already know that JER30 is breaking out on the higher time frame, right? Here is a big, big, strong push on the 1 hour. Goes sideways, right? Creates a stage one. Pushes higher. MMB1, maybe MMB2. Definitely not overextended. This can run all the way to here, for example. So this looks very nice. Here I am on the 5 minute. Decent stage two. Kinda like it. Then, well, actually, like this is very, very wiki. So I wasn't really looking to get involved anywhere over here because it was like kind of all over the place, and both of these were like stage ones. This one, uh, yeah, maybe I actually wasn't even following. I probably wasn't, but here it breaks into a new high on big, big momentum and pulls back into the rising 1020, right? So this is very, very nice. Here we are on the 1 minute. And my expectation here, this is a stage one. My expectation is an Elliott wave here, right? This is my expectation. So by no means overextended, doing exactly what I want to see. Huge stage two, beautiful, absolutely love it. Pulls back into the 1020. Some lows are being liquidated here. Uh, yep, some lows liquidated. You could argue that it's not technically below the EMAs, and yeah, maybe, but as Anton said earlier in that lesson that I included in my data collection. It's not all about the EMAs. It's so much more about the actual price action. And if I take a look at the 10-second, this is most definitely a valid reaccumulation. So yeah, this is beautiful. I absolutely love this. So we have the big stage two, lows being liquidated, and then we have the reignition, and here it pulls back into the rising 1020, and that's the entry. I love this entry. It's so good. Beautiful entry. So yep, let's label that up. So this is definitely this is good context and good momentum. Okay, this is good momentum as well. This is amazing momentum, and this is a perfect entry. Perfect entry. Okay, and what do I have to say about this trade? I think it's this one. All right, got slipped hard, yes. So this was my intended entry, right, with spread, but I actually got tapped in over here, which is wow, huge slippage. But it is what it is. I get tapped in, I reduce risk over here, and after it prints fractal structure above my entry, that's when I go risk free. If it ends up winning, it will be only 3 plus 66. Yes, I included that in my data collection here, so a 3.7 instead of a plus 5. And happy to take another entry here if the 10 seconds reaccumulates. So this ends up running to plus 5. And I think I also take the 10-second entry afterwards. So let's first label that up. So context 2 is definitely good momentum. Context 1 is good momentum. Validation, good momentum. And an entry is perfect. Management-wise, perfect as well. So this was a perfect trade. Always happy to do that. And it was a good decision to take it. By the way, that should be a capital M. uh, the attention to detail, monsieurs. Yes, sir. Okay. So overall, a perfect trade, most definitely. And that ends up being a winner. Always nice to capture some R. And then the last trade of the week is JR30 as well. So what happens over here? The trade previously was taken over here in MMB1, and here this is MMB2, right? So most definitely valid to trade. You can see that on the 1 minute here. Beautiful entry, exactly where I want to be entering. Here it continues higher, pulls back into the rising 1020. Let's see it on the 10-second. Stage 2 looks great, very strong. Low start being liquidated, reignition, tiny little pullback, and this is my entry. This is amazing. Such a good trade. I love it. And I forgot to mark up the DMB over here. So yeah, whatever. I would say this was the DMB. MB2 is a little bit smaller, which is completely fine. And here, I would say it's this whole thing. Yep, beautiful. So same stuff. Can just copy all of this. This was a perfect trade also. So let's just see what I have to say about this. So I get tapped in. Over here, I reduce risk on this big candle. Makes sense. As it moves higher, I'm risk-free. And this runs to, what does it run to? Like 3.6, something like that. Yeah, 3.53, and comes back to a break even. So beautiful. Good momentum, good momentum, good momentum, perfect entry, and perfect management. Overall, perfect trade, good decision. There we go. Reflection, absolutely beautiful execution on JR30. Been waiting for months for this asset to go into good context, and then I executed flawlessly. Yep, very happy with that, I remember. So, it's perfect. Nice. Can delete this. Go back here. This is the differentiator. Create week 42 for myself here. All right. And now let's do the what went good and what went bad part. Always important. So, first of all, let me actually go ahead, check Friday here. So Friday, there was quite a few news. Okay, this was on my watch list. So I was watching once again Zach. So this MMB indeed ended up going higher. So the impulse can continue. And I was also watching some stocks. I was watching Nvidia over here that broke out MMB1 in continuation. That looks very ripe and ready. And I was also watching IO and Q, very similar, actually maybe leading a little bit because it broke out into a new range already and now pulling back. Beautiful context. Low time frame trades look garbage today. Might call it early and go to the gym. Yep, that's exactly what I did. And actually, because I did that, and that's just, life being life, uh, Nvidia would have tapped me into an entry and given me a -1. So I celebrated that because I was like, yes, finally, I actually missed a loss instead of missing a win. That felt pretty good. So, yeah, normally I would have most definitely taken a -1 on Nvidia because it was a nice setup. But yeah, I think that concludes everything. There's nothing else regarding Saturday, Sunday. I don't think there will be any crypto trades. Well, there is Zach. Zach is fucking crazy. But would there be an entry here? Let me just see real quick. Oh, this actually looks really nice. What the fuck? I might actually enter Zach. Yo, 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 yo. This is looking juiced. Uh, 540, double that is 1080. Yep, this is looking super nice, man. 5,000 and that's 5,400. Strong stage 2. This is good. Like, this is a little bit wild, but it's insane relative strength. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna be taking this for sure. So yeah, let's quickly finish this up. So what is there to actually talk about? I know. Okay, let's go to analysis here and let's actually check the mistakes. This is this week. Yep. Okay, so the mistakes that were made are that I should have taken, should have taken, should have taken. So I missed out on a lot of things because I didn't take. That's not great, but it's definitely better than taking trades that are bad. I'm okay with this because all this means is I'm not looking at results here, right? But all this means is that I didn't take certain trades that were supposed to be taken, but the trades that I took are still trades where I do actually have edge. So all I'm doing is I'm potentially missing out on growing faster, right? But most importantly, I didn't take any trades that would be outside of my edge, outside of my rules. And that's super important. So that's probably the first thing I'm going to write down here. What went well? Well, yes, good context, good momentum, absolutely. But only took trades that followed rules. That's super important. What went bad though is that I missed a few valid trades. Okay, so which ones did I actually miss? So, so I'm going to do the screenshots here. I'm going to paste them here. So this was the first one. This, what's this? Uh, didn't take. Does that mean that I was supposed to take it? Hmm. Yeah, there's a NAS 100 break even that I was definitely supposed to take. By the way, what the fuck is this mistake? Ah, I see. I did not take it, and this was a mis. I see. My bad, my bad. So this actually doesn't belong there. That was good that I didn't take it. So this was a perfect entry, and I didn't take it. Why did I not take it again? So boop, didn't pay attention. Okay, okay. I should probably include the why didn't take part. Yes. It is not important what result it is. Okay, cool. So overall, in mistakes, I missed out on 9.4 R, which, yeah, it kind of sucks, to be honest. I could have made much, much more, and I could already probably be out of DD, but that's fine. That's okay. Uh, so how am I going to do this? So I didn't pay attention, I didn't have time to set up order, and I wasn't looking at this time frame. Okay, so I'm going to write it like this. Didn't pay attention, didn't set up order on time, and lastly, wasn't following that time frame. So these were the three trades that I missed. Okay, my overall results this week are plus 8.6, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love that. But my results, had I traded perfectly, would be plus 18. So that's a big, big difference. Uh, Let me just check if Zach is setting up. Oh, it isn't, and it just failed as well. So yeah, probably no entry for me. Cool. Yeah, plus 18. Damn, that would have been nice. But if anything, this tells me that my screening process is really good. Uh, I follow markets when they are supposed to be followed, like both BNB, MNT, and maybe some other ones provided very nice setups that if I took them, I would have probably made money. So yeah, not bad, not bad at all. Most importantly, I did not make mistakes in terms of taking trades that uh, do not meet rules. That's super important. So now I just need to make some additional refinements and work on my potential hesitation or confusion of certain things to make sure that I also take the trades, all the trades that actually meet the rules. So still some refinements to do, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So just gonna quickly go over the V's and everything. So yeah, this was amazing. Beautiful trending market. Yep, beautiful trending market. I'm looking at the whole, like the right side, right? The context too. This one is a little bit different, but it's a stage one breakout moving higher. So yeah, expectation is continuation. Trending market. This is the same. NAS 100. Yeah. That's the same asset. Uh, yep, this is breaking out. Everything very, very strong on this time frame. Here, DMB is in, moving higher with momentum. Yep, looks good. Moving higher with momentum, moving higher. Here, DMB is in, moving higher with momentum. I can see it on the 1 minute. Trending market, uh, breaking out of accumulation, pulling back into MMB1. Beautiful. This one, yeah. Last valid trade. That's good. Last valid trade on BNB is good. MNT continuation of last valid trade looks good. Zach over here. Uh, yep. Stage one breakout continuation looks good. This, yep. This looks very good. Very strong. Everything looking strong. Another V over here. All strong momentous moves. Uh, Lots of crypto trades. Wow. Uh, yep. Nice entries. Mhm. Yeah, like I see momentum in every single one of my entries. every single one. I'm not trading in any stage one. I'm not trading in any chop. Whenever there is chop, I'm waiting for it to break out first. Everything is moving higher. All EMAs are rising. This is so nice. The DMBs themselves are really nice. The entries are nice. Yeah, it's like week by week, it's getting better. It's getting better. Uh, yeah, I like what I'm putting out here. This trade was a bit weird, but yeah, I also labeled it as a mistake. Okay, yeah, I like the trades I'm taking. I really do. Now I just need to make sure that I also take the ones that I sometimes miss. But again, even if I miss a few trades, I will continue. And if I continue taking trades that meet rules, I will benefit from the EV that those rules provide. So it's still all right. Okay. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this week. If I go into here, I'm almost out. Well, almost 12R. 12R is still quite a bit, but once I make it out of this DD, which was my big goal, I'm going to return to my challenge. I don't know how long that's going to take. Could be a week, could be 2, 3 months. Doesn't matter. The moment I make it out, and also the moment I manage to have at least a few weeks of no mistakes, I'm gonna be confident enough to start executing live. So yeah, this was probably quite a long video. What is this? Wow, 90 minutes. But yeah, I had a lot of trades, lots of thoughts, uh, had some drawings and everything, had some lessons. So quite a bit of stuff. But I'm happy. It's all good. So yeah, if any of this sparks some thoughts with you, either shoot me a DM on Discord or write a comment here. I'm always happy to talk about trading. And I wish you guys a nice weekend and a lot of luck in the next week. Peace out.